Right, we're back. So, I'm gonna keep the tech spread going as fast as I can. Well, reasonably can. At the very least, now that I have rare earth mining unlocked, I can provide the various renewable resources that I've inherited in my conquests. Renewable energy power plants that I've inherited in my conquests. A reasonable amount of production. Especially now that the penalty is starting to fade. Yep. The first mines are active now. I will be turning on recycling soon, it's just that I'm currently doing improved army conditions, repeatable. And I can go to basic environmental productions. Of course, there is the fact that rock and roll just unlocked, so I can increase the entertainment areas. Production. Yeah, right. I need to check to see if there's any. I'm going to start with small rigs first in order to ease in. To horizontal perforation. So that does cost electricity. Need to be careful on that one. Been doing the same with the oil as well. Not sure. Where are the entertainment areas? List. Yep, just need to go up a little bit. 5 more instruments and a bit of electricity and even more entertainment. Please no electricity shortage. Libya, okay. I'm surprised that was all that did it. But I can build renewable power plants now, so. Let's get those built. Especially considering I have problems with sourcing enough uranium. It's at the point where I've started importing the stuff, so I definitely need to work on improving the situation. That is for sure. Probably convert another set of construction sectors over to the last production method. Since I did lock prefab concrete buildings, it's just that I've never bothered to swap yet. Largely because robotics is expensive. It's already the most expensive aspect of construction now. That's exactly why I'm working on constructing more of the stuff, but speed. Raw speed is a bit of an issue. And it doesn't provide any extra state construction efficiency either, just raw construction quantity. There. I can't push it any harder for the moment. Due to lack of robotics. Though I'm possibly importing some of this stuff. It would not surprise me particularly if there was Trade Center. Yep. Cash in. Didn't realize there was even a culture in the game. Cool. But with the addition of computers, I can now do digital data optimization. I am working on setting up software inside of East Houseland. 600,000 employed. Considering the laboring population here is Yeah, at least 25% of the population. Probably higher. I'd like to see have the possibility of seeing the list of working adults inside the population list. Would be another fascinating thing to look at and consider. But yes, I am working on setting up computers and software. Forgotten to turn on? No, it's just not considered automatically on for some reason. It really should be. It's not prisoners either. Not that one. I'm also working on modernizing the military to its maximum state, although I don't really need military at the moment. It's good for defensive purposes because, well, all the other great powers have a vested interest in ending me, so. Great Britain. France is actually about to fall off the list. Yeah, if they lose 1,000 points, they're gone. Okay, I probably should upgrade power plants to Gen 2. At least where possible. The amount of demanded robots in the process, though. Oh, wow. Okay, Tripoli has an electricity shortage, too. Swap you over to second gen, but that's not going to last for long. I'm going to set up some more renewables. Maybe not that much. Yeah, because it does produce 60 power per stage, per level. I should limit the adjustment to second generation where it does seem necessary. Like here. What does this do? Definitely need to focus more on renewable power, though. I can afford that much more easily than I can the uranium and water consumption. I think that's the big deal, isn't it? Presidential hierarchy. Event. Raw data processing is coming up. Data centers are going to allow me to convert raw data into processes, into organized data. Which is good because there's a lot more raw data is produced and allows me to produce more business data. which allows me to further dump more throughput into everything. As for why I'm building so many ports in South Cameroon, those are anchorages with water filtration, seawater. Oh wow, okay, that's gonna use way too much electricity, so... Economy of scale does affect the renewable plants, so... I can't afford that much. Plastic could potentially become a problem. I certainly hope not. It's considered a power plant though, which is good. Let's go and see about those. Bullet trains! Excellent, I can swap to those. Because they use electricity. I'd rather use electricity than all the other options. That's going to increase taxation capacity. I'll swap to that as soon as it becomes reasonable to do so. Uses a bit more electricity. It does still generate pollution. It does generate pollution in the process, but not as much as you might expect. Do you want your independence, though? Just ask. I am fully admitting to hold on, trying to hold on as long as possible. But I will let go as soon as the question is asked. So I'm aware that it cannot go on. Master Entertainment. Can upgrade the entertainment areas to Blockbuster Cinema now. Should reduce radio usage. And in turn increase TV usage. Yippee. It's not going to be that many TVs. And it's also going to use a bit more media content. It's fine, radios are... Televisions are actually overproduced, so... The extra entertainment would be helpful. Media content might be an issue, though. Nah, I produce way more media content than I need. Which is a good thing. I know I have televisions around somewhere. Here, I believe, yes. Still produce more than I need, okay. Either was incorrect or ended up not going as far as I And I forgot to do the law. Okay. Huh? Requires transnational activism. I have to research that first? Oh. No, I'll get neo-feminism in a few months at this rate. Certainly playing a game of rapid catch-up, aren't I? I do wonder that. Let me pick a country that has... Oh, jeez, I have to scroll all the way down to the bottom. Environmental protection? Does anyone have... Oh, Germany does. They're just a major power now. Steel, okay. Steel. It's all steel recycling. Why are you still on drugs healthcare? Basic appliances. Actually, I should check what that does before I go around messing with production. Well, scanning the whole thing again. Okay, it's an employment producer in the food industries. There we go. Modern urban utilities. Oh, it reduces mortality. Increase employment, but I can handle it. In fact, I'm gonna finagle around the urban centers again. Normally, I don't like those production methods because, yeah. But the mortality reduction, I'll take. Also, public motor carriages in order to further reduce the amount of labor used. Extreme environmentalist. These don't take a while to build, don't they? Oh. Yeah, that probably has something to do with it. Hyper development is not fun to try to push through. What just happened to spike my welfare payments like that? I didn't touch anything, did I? It's all exported, isn't it? Pop consumption, actually. At least I can cycle that back into the chip foundries in order to produce more computers. Cybernetic state. The smaller the better. Yep. I'm gonna start using rare earths in this. It's fine, I need microprocessors. Pretty badly. PCs will come next. The more computers I produce, the better. Because you don't even deal with the fact that there's so... Okay, subsidies has also increased. I've got copper subventions, but they've existed since the beginning of the game, almost. Because I don't nearly produce enough copper to fulfill my own needs. Trade centers. It's all that. Looks like Egypt is starting to have troubles with low standard of living. Yeah, at this point in the game, middling is low. I mean, I am number 3. Ecuador's at the top. Huh. How does Grand Alliance have that much? IDE for the software industry. Okay. That uses twice as many computers, though. Start import. Okay. I'm sure that whatever happens, I can handle it in the overall. There's just gonna be some fun times involved for all. There's a questionable aspect of whether or not I want to bring these guys in, because that's a couple million people involved. I'm a little less worried about the village interests. They're still a bit odd, but they're not that bad. Yeah. It might help with the sheer power of that. Look, communists have one of them in their own party. I expected it to increase their vote count. Surprisingly, but no, by not that much. Oh my, 1.5 million people in East Hausaland. How the robotics industry is doing. Okay. Yeah, okay. I definitely need to speed up construction. This is becoming ludicrous. Let's build 20. There. Oh, there's already a robotics industry level here? Huh. the increased quantity of construction should help. It's just that my pop growth is still positive, which is in some ways kind of scary. Especially considering I'm still working on constructing renewable energy plants. Okay, let's get these back to the top so they can get constructed within a reasonable amount of time. Okay, renewable power is towards the bottom. Not that far towards the bottom. Geothermal, there, renewable. Sure. That's probably a good idea. I guess the difference between wind turbines and solar panels is which you have more of. Which do you perceive as better? The better option. Personally wondering something about hydroponic farms, which provides me with the most benefit. I'm not interested in cotton or dyes. Those I can produce synthetically in other means. It does seem that coffee is the preferred one to work towards, so. Yeah, my biggest problem with hydroponic farms is that I lack water. With more water, hydroponic farms become much more reasonable to have in the quantities I require in order to produce enough. GDP. It's raw GDP, isn't it? And the permanent UN member. Yeah, it's just US and Russia. The US, despite only having half of its historical land, are still number 1. Nope, number 2. And then Russia hasn't lost any imperial territories outside of subjects, or decentralized subjects, so Finland and the Baltics. Although, from the looks of it, the Baltics are going to have a lot of fun due to a lack of primary cultures. Yeah. Can't wait for the Baltic separatism to start doing its lovely, lovely thing. Look at those turmoil numbers, 90+%. Declare bankruptcy in default. this is all about. Don't tell me you have laissez-faire. Yeah. Optic fibers. Electronic grade values. Oh. Another one of those that needs a huge amount of resources that I'm willing to give. Definitely don't need wires anymore. Is Victoria one of those states that now has a huge amount of unemployed people? Yes. Alright, that means I should turn off the automation. Start letting more people in the workplaces. Right, outside the world. That's gonna take a long while. Oh, I forgot to... Oh. Why don't I upgrade these to modern? Or did I do those on accident? And yeah. Despite everything, Japan's a republic. There we go. Transnational activism. Still not done with the right to abortion. Don't worry though, things will finish up. I can pick up gender equality. Yeah, the game is lagging hard. Dropped like a rock, and then it only came along one up again. Once I invited them into the power block. Not sure what happened there. Perhaps a collapse in oil prices? Or ability to supply oil? Perhaps I can do that again. Yes. Maybe that's what I need in order to ensure that those are profitable. Electricity shortage in nowhere. Oh, cool. So who can I invite? Lahedge? Of course. The Maldives, or even army troops. So far, I still have maxed out cohesion. Leading goods producer. Yeah, so long as none of the members are so big that it becomes problematic, which isn't likely to happen considering my raw economic size being number 3. Yahoo. What a great tier 8 tech. Okay. Mobilize. trying to put that off as long as possible in order to ensure I can afford it. The increase in workforce ratio probably isn't for the best, but Now I can do environmental protection. Okay. That one's going to be trickier than gender equality, so let's go for that. It's also a unique wall in that it has actual colors involved. Woo. No UN strategy? Oh, finally. Finally, some construction of the renewable energy plants. Finishes. I think it's to the point where I can... Yep. There. Transition to new construction methods complete. At the very least, it gives me a consistent source of robotics use. I can at least shut off some of the construction though, for it. If I had any idea where that is. Oh, there it is. Spaniards from Catalonia. Come on in. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Nope, nope, no, that's way too many computers. Okay, I know better. I need to be careful with how much I consume. At the very least, I have plenty of lubricants to work with. I'm just happy that so far it's merely a proxy war. No one's bothered trying to... Oh. Well, hopefully nothing will come of that. Okay, digital instruments, digital audio workstation. For media industries. Oh, digital communication. Yeah, let's turn on the modern dance. Just sky-high throughput for the entertainment areas. Ah. Funny enough, I don't actually have any oil refineries here. Okay, yeah, vacuum distillation. I could really use more heavy fuel oil. So, what is next? The game needs a minute. E-government, okay, that gives me even more taxation capacity. Allows me to use rudimentary database networks. Oh wow, the unrealized taxes quantity is massive. Maybe that's what I need to focus on. Finished with a set of ports, but the amount produced is small. Considering my raw use? Yeah. It's not nearly as much as I had hoped for. Okay. I'm now at the point where computers are becoming more useful again. Don't actually have raw data processing set up. Where is that? It's probably somewhere in production tech, right? No, it's not. Huh. Well, hopefully I get to it soon. Local data storage. Early computer server. Video games. Hugely important. Definitely the most important tech here. I mean, that plus 10% influence. seemed that my best bet for dealing with a lot of my problems is just taxation capacity up. Build more government administrations in order to handle the sheer amount of demand. My taxation capabilities. I mean, it will cost money, but it will employ a decent number of people. Not nearly as many as the full industry, but... And it will help with my tax issues. Because I'm actually losing about, well, almost my deficit in tax money. So if I can resolve the issue without it being too problematic, then that's good. Go. Sadly, I'm not willing to use more computers than I can already produce. Definitely not willing to use more computers than I can already produce. That would be a very bad idea. I need to beef up production. That stuff. Annoyingly, rare earth is required, so I do need to expand the mines for those too. Which is especially bad considering I have, yeah, productivity is surprisingly low. I need advanced mining systems in order for this to become truly and greatly productive. Now that if I hand this over to the local workforce, this will somewhat improve the efficiency. Yeah, that's my maneuver. Okay, with PCs I can afford to swap over more of those. The weird thing is that it uses up software, so software production and personal computer production now becomes cyclical. CNC control. Computer numerical control. Leading machines. Ah, it's for boosted robotics production. Good. I can work with that. Because I now have every reason to build a massive software industry in Nigeria. Just give it a minute to... There, that should resolve some of the issues. It's taxes. And give plenty of reason for the software industries to expand themselves via the private construction queue. And software is the new office for basically place anywhere where there's lots of people. Right, that gets me advanced healthcare. Oh boy, it's auto-saving. That's gonna need a minute. Okay, where is the... Get the feeling I passed it. Yes, I definitely passed it. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Advanced healthcare. This uses up so many pharmaceuticals. But it is also very worth it for that minus. For those pollution effect reductions and mortality reductions. Of course, that inevitably leads to a processor shortage. That's why I'm building these up. There, that should be good for now. To bed mass migration. See, at least... How are we losing this fight? Please tell me. Why have we lost this fight? We had better numbers, better offense. Perhaps not better offense, but I remember it being better offense. Oh yes, there are definitely expansions in water. Yeah. Tripoli is just getting water plants. Like no tomorrow. Okay, I can loosen the amount of transportation used. Invite to power block. Their economy is gonna break otherwise. Like, yeah, there. Oh, and mine too. I'm fairly reliant on their oil production. Okay, time to upgrade the efficiency of the robotics industry. It's down here somewhere, I'm sure of it. There it is. Oh, the amount of computer usage and software usage in that. Oh, yeah, that's gonna push me over the edge. I can't handle that. Okay. There, that's a lot better. Something like this, please. I personally want to be the one attacking. Fascist. Ooh, aquafarm systems. It lets the hydroponic farms actually become reasonably productive and gives me advanced filtration methods, granting me even more water access. Which is good, because water is the one thing I need the most. There we go, I can build data centers now. And also activate digital data on premises. Which is extremely similar to this one. It just uses slightly more computers. And gives me even more throughput. Which is why I'm turning it on for the software industries. As well as for the chip foundries. I can't use raw data though. Raw data is useless at the moment. Unless, of course, I construct a data center to turn it into organized data. Of course, the fun bit is water usage. Yep. At the very least, raw data is extremely cheap and no one uses it. Except for that one thing. Oh, designer's collection. Okay. I'll handle that and then call it for the moment. It's near the top. Okay, fine. Oh, wait, I can just go straight to doing that? That's modular furniture. For everything. Yeah, plus 54% throughput is a lot. And my population is still increasing, which is dangerous, all things considered. I'm currently dealing with a war in here. So I do seem to have mostly won this. It's something of a proxy war. Thankfully, no one's bothering me too much. But Japan and the USA are thoroughly involved. India doesn't actually seem to be doing much, but they're trying to invade. They were trying to invade the US. Just thanks for the distraction. Hopefully it works out, although it does seem that a lot more troops are going to come in soon. Yep. By the way, despite being called the Hawaiian People's Assembly, their big dealio is they want laissez-faire. Hawaii, at least the original government, has co-op ownership, which I much prefer. So. And once the whole thing with the war is done, I can bring them into the power block. Perhaps I should draft a treaty. There we go. Yeah, I've been slowly working on trying to get countries into my power block. In fact, I'll be able to get the next principal soon. Of course, there is the fact that my subjects are trying to get out, and to the point where the Philippines are damaging relations, which I don't want. The thing is, I need to leave the war. I need to finish the war before that can happen, and I'm not allowing Hawaii out to collapse, not currently anyway. So, but I'm sitting at the proper number 3 position in standard of living, GDP, and great power ranking. Ironically, rank 1 is Russia, at least last time I checked. Are they still rank 1? No, they're rank 2 now. Rank 1's the US. And of course they occupy similar positions with the power blocks. But they're really close too. Ledger, please. They're really close too when it comes to the rankings. At least they were. I think the US has increased since they increased their military power. I'm also number 3 in population, though completely different countries are up at the top in the rankings. I'm only number 46 on literacy rate, but the reason for that is so many people are nearly maxed out, that's A. And B, there's a reason why my population's so high. I keep getting mass migrations. This should explain everything. I currently have 6 mass migrations, and reminder, these last a year. It just goes to show how ludicrous things are when it comes to that. Oh well. I have definitely gone on long enough. I'll see you again next time. Till then.